Welcome to Stories of the Iron Age. Jerry Branham and I are old friends, and when we began to record videos of monthly previews of his newsletter, we recorded some of the conversation to test the sound on that first video. I found the recording and talked to Jerry, and we decided that we would post these audio stories, and if people liked them, we would start filming a whole series called Stories of the Iron Age. So if you like this first installment, post a like with comments and we'll keep doing them. Now here is Jerry's story about the first time he met Frank Zane.
Backstage, you remember this was held at the old Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That's where this held all the IFBB shows in New York. And in those days, everybody, when the contest first started, everybody they had the teenage and the senior. It was the Eastern American teenage and senior, and everybody, when the show first started, would line up where the curtains would open. I was standing next to this guy, and I remember, remember when we used to put on that baby oil?
Oh, yeah.
Before, I had put on too much. This was one of my first contests. I didn't really know what I was doing. And I put on an entire bottle of baby oil.
Oh, wow.
It was literally dripping off his body, right? I looked like I was ready to, like I just fell in a salad, right? So the guy standing next to me, I remember, he said, hey, you mind if I get some of your oil? You look like you let me put some of your oil on me. It'll make you look a little better. So he started taking the oil off me and rubbing it on himself, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, hey, this guy's got a great build. I said, hey, what's your name? He says, oh, I'm Frank Zane. He said, I'm from Pennsylvania, I remember he told me. And I said, wow. I said, the curtain was just right open. I said, you've got I never heard of you, no offense, but you got a tremendous physique. And at that time, I was having a writing correspondence with Bill Pearl. Bill Pearl, one of the great bodybuilders, who was my idol. And I wrote back to him the next day. I think I either won it or got second. I don't remember. But Frank Zane won that night. He won the Mr. Eastern America.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember writing to Bill Pearl. I said, hey, Bill, I said, keep your eye on this guy, Frank Zane. I said, he's got a fantastic physique. This guy, remember, I was saying this before anyone ever heard of Zane. It had to be 65. I said, this guy is going to go all the way in bodybuilding. I predicted it.
Wow.
And he was a nice guy. I mean, he wasn't over. Funny thing is, I got to know him very well. We were actually next door neighbors years later in California. So I got to know him very well years later. But he seemed to me at that contest, when I tried to make some conversation with him later, it was like, he was kind of introverted.
If you want the latest in exercise and nutrition science, then sign up for Jerry Branham's Applied Metabolics newsletter.